what I do.
Okay, but the newcomers, the culture proved to be dominant. Shout out to D-Med. I mean, after all, they were the majority. Their churches grew, their slang became the norm, their food, their music, their struggle, all of it remade Black America's cultural DNA. And so by the 1960s, with the civil rights movement in full swing, Black American culture forged in slavery and raised in Jim Crow and hardened in migration became the default face of Black America. From Malcolm X in Harlem to Fred Hampton in Chicago to UEP Newton in Oakland, it was the voice of Southern-rooted FBA Americans who led the charge. All right? Now, that was the first migration. Let's talk about the second great migration. If y'all learned something, I should earn something. And I know you're learning something, but I just want to reemphasize that. All right. Now, the second migration, this was the massive exodus that remade urban America. Okay, it was far larger. It was far more transformative and far more politically charged. From 1916 to 1970, there were two great waves. Over 6 million Black Americans packed up. They packed up their lives and they fled the racial hellscape of the Jim Crow South. This wasn't just a migration. This was literally a refugee crisis under a domestic apartheid regime. Can you imagine? It was so bad down south. You had 6 million people move from one location to another, hundreds and hundreds of miles away. See, our people weren't just looking for better jobs. They were escaping what was, in effect, domestic terrorism and state-sanctioned violence and economic bondage. They were running from lynch mobs, literally. They were seeking safety, dignity, and a chance to breathe. In the first wave, that was spurred by World War I. Okay, and it continued all the way up into the 1930s. There you had 1.5 million Black folks from the South moved to the North. They came to take those jobs because the white GIs had been sent over to Europe, so they came and filled those spots. The second wave, from the 1940s all the way to the 1970s, that's 5 million people. 5 million people. Imagine that. Shout out to Ashton Mulkey. It was Black people everywhere. And that exodus intensified during and after World War II because they also came for the jobs and they also came to fill those spots. And when the war economy cracked open jobs and opportunities in northern and western industries, the mechanical cotton picker replaced sharecropping labor in the South. Okay, that is so. Where did they needed us at the shipyards? They needed us at the defense plants. They needed us at the auto factories where they needed manpower because guess what? The white men had gone off to Europe to fight. So you had entire families that fled the South with nothing but suitcases and church recommendations. And they boarded trains bound for Chi-Town, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, New York City. And others carved out paths to go westward like Los Angeles, Oakland, Seattle, and Phoenix. Many of them following the older Southern relatives to factory work. My grandmother left Mississippi in 1968. My Uncle Carl, who had already moved out to Los Angeles, California, brought my mom and my grandma and my Uncle Slim, took a bus and they came out to California. That same little old Black lady that you see over my shoulder right there, okay? Right there, there's Grandma, Elmira King Williams. That's why she left. She literally packed up the plantation. All her kids had left. My aunties had moved to Chicago. My uncles had moved to Chicago. Her oldest son had moved out to Los Angeles, California. So that's where she went. So she packed up her two youngest kids and she left. About a year or so later, her husband, my grandpa, who they called Teal, his real name was Eddie Williams, he left too. So my family was part of that migration. You understand? We weren't the only ones. Clarksdale, Mississippi, to the east side of Los Angeles, California, Long Beach, Compton, all these places filled up. And see, again, uh, they brought the spirituals, the blues, the sounds born in slave cabins and shotgun churches of Mississippi Delta. There wasn't a day go by, a Sunday didn't go by, my grandmother wouldn't hop on her piano and play some old songs from the South. And we had collard green and cornbread every day. She had a garden in the backyard. So soul food wasn't even soul food. That was just our food. That's just what we ate. We would have catfish or fried fish. There would be a fish market. My uncles would go down there on a Friday and get fish. And this is what my household looked like. So I basically had a Southern household right there on 1104 West 58th Place, Los Angeles, California. If you look it up, it's right there behind John Muir Junior High School, where I went to junior high school, and Butlong Elementary. They also brought the oratory rooted in the call and response. Church, yes, Lord. Let the church say amen. Amen. You see? And the vernacular of the field and the coded language of resistance. So, I do my best to try to speak, clearly so you all can understand me, because I know there's a diverse crowd. But if you catch me around my people, I'm gonna sound a lot more like I'm from Mississippi than I will like I'm from Los Angeles, because the people that raised me were straight out of Mississippi. See, these modern day young folk from California, they say, yeah, man, hell of this, hell of that, because they have a different kind of twang. They grew up in the 2000s and the 2015s, but the people that raised me, they were fresh out the Mississippi Delta. And so that's why the way I speak is the way they speak. You understand? The other thing they brought resilience. People who survived 250 years of slavery, 100 years of legal apartheid. They brought order, discipline, moral clarity, what Du Bois once described as a people trained by suffering. You understand me? And so, in this regard, it was a different kind of vibe that you got from our people who came up at that particular time period. Now, they didn't just assimilate. They literally transformed everything they touched. In places like Chicago, they built Bronzeville. And this was a Black metropolis. It was a home of jazz legends. It was labor organizers and race record companies. Okay. And then you had New York. They took over Harlem, launching the Harlem Renaissance and cultural explosion of Black brilliance. And that rocked the Western world. And oh my God, Los Angeles. I grew up hearing stories about Central Avenue, which was the hub of the West Coast Black culture before Hollywood ever looked their way. You understand me? In Houston, we solidified Third Ward. It was a bastion of Black Southern dignity, and it remains influential to this day. Any Black person worth their salt who comes out of Houston, Texas, either went to school or has strong ties to what we call, Third Ward, Houston, Texas. Shout out to everybody else. I'm just putting it in there for you, baby. I just need y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Okay. And so we were doing it. Our people were really doing it. We were doing it. And, even places like Detroit, and I mentioned this earlier, Detroit, we built Motown, literally and culturally working in the auto plants by day and singing harmony at night. This is where people came from. And these weren't just neighborhoods. They were nation states of Black expression. They had their own newspapers and churches and schools and nightclubs and civic organizations and political machines that were where Black America and Northern edition, but never detached from their Southern roots. I'm gonna show you guys a picture I haven't shown this photograph in a while, man. This is my great granddaddy. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can put a little picture up of him, man. I want y'all to take a look at my great granddaddy. He was a black attorney, and he went to a HBCU, and he graduated. He's from Mississippi. So this is my grandmother's great granddaddy, or great granddaddy. His name is G.W. Jones. This is his obituary. He was born in April 15, 1857 in Yellowbusher County, Mississippi. He was admitted to the bar in 1877. So right at the end of Reconstruction. So he had been he's an educated man. I want y'all to understand what our people were doing right out of slavery. My granddaddy, my great granddaddy, was born a slave. Okay, in 1857, 3 years before the Civil War started, he was born a slave. What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D. People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's black man talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. And let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now